coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor and M19 Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. Here's the scene a short time ago. The Ravens introduced to this sellout crowd, and through a sea of pyrotechnics, out they came from the tunnel. We're set to go as the Ravens get ready to match up with the Buffalo Bills. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. On the ground with their leading rusher from a season ago, it's Alex Collins. And a second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now Jackson on second down. And avoids the contact by sliding. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at third down.
Now how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Now with the play clock about to expire, we get a whistle and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, it's Jackson. And to the right side here, it's Allen. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. He'll return it from the 6. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. And they're waving pressure too much. Down he goes.
didn't have the greatest field position to start, did they? And now, after this sack, it's way, way worse.
And right off the bat, first play of the game. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Here's the now 30-year-old running back, LaShawn McCoy. And he'll be taken down, losing yardage back at the 9-yard line. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. From the gun, it's Allen. Caught on the left side by Benjamin. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. The Ravens making their way out here, Charles, and a heartbreaking last-second loss to the Bengals Week 17 last year. Kept them out of the playoffs into their season at 9-7. And, you know, since winning Super Bowl 47, they've now missed the playoffs for the last 5 years.
They want to get back to doing things the Ravens way, which means toughness on both sides of the ball. So they'll want to continue to run it with Alex Collins. They added Orlando Brown in at right tackle. They want better push up front, but they have to throw the ball better as well. So they added Michael Crabtree in free agency, and the 2 tight ends. Grabbed them early. Hayden Hurst out of South Carolina and Mark Andrews out of Oklahoma. And then flip it over on defense. Want to continue to flock to the football the way that they've done for so many years.
On 2nd down, Jackson. And he's brought down, but not before getting across midfield to the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 45-yard line. From the gun, Jackson. It's brought in complete. It's John Brown. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
They'll run it here. This is Buck Allen. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a pickup of 11 at a Baltimore first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. A give to McCoy. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
What do you think, 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Willie Henry, and it'll make this a 2nd and long. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Only 2 yards on the carry. That's going to set up a 3rd and long, 3rd and 15 to be exact. So the shotgun snap to Allen. And that is incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
To the right side and complete to Hurst. Hayden Hurst just earned himself his first NFL touchdown as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Tucker with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. These Bills, Charles, broke the 17-year playoff drought under first-year head coach Sean McDermott. And while Bills fans, they reveled in their team's return to relevance, we know the NFL, it's a what have you done for me lately business. So what can we expect in 2018?
I think a continuation of what head coach Sean McDermott started last year, creating the new culture for the Bills, upgrading their defense. But the big thing, they need more plays from the quarterback position that are downfield, chunk plays to take some of the pressure off the defense. Remember, only 3 points scored in the playoff loss to the Jaguars.
It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Now a first down carry here for McCoy. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. Charles, I think sometimes maybe we take LaShawn McCoy for granted. Been in the league since 2009. He's played 12 or more games every season as a running back. 30 years old this year. What do you see for his future?
I still see a very bright future for him, and you're exactly right. We do kind of take him for granted. Remember, he was with Philadelphia. Then he goes to Buffalo. Buffalo goes through the playoff drought before last season, and the Eagles, they win a Super Bowl without him. So, yeah, we forget just how special he is. But I do think with his running style, he's got many more seasons left.
It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway. They'll run it now out of the gun. Room here to run. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now Allen throwing on 2nd down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. Always got some breathing room. There he goes left side. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. Now Tucker to add the PAT. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. Here's Khalif Raymond to return. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. This offense trots back out there now, and as they do, Charles, one thing to point out that we saw a second ago are some of the new rules in the NFL this year regarding kickoffs.
Yeah, nowadays, the kickoff team, no more running starts. Remember that when you kind of circle a guy around and here he goes? No more. You have to start, close to the ball. And when it's kicked, then you get to take off and go, so you can't build up your speed that way. Also, when you're returning it, remember those wedges that we used to say where guys would form together, 2 or 3 guys? No more of those. So it'd be a lot more man-on-man, one-on-one blocking. And also, they have rules about where people have to be when the ball's kicked, where they have to be when the ball's caught. So to me, it's much more like a punt return than it is an actual kickoff return. So I'm eager to see if teams now take their punt returners, those nifty guys who make people miss in the open field, and make them the kickoff returners as well, because I think you can still get big plays in this area if you have the right people back there. And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. This give is to McCoy. Called an 8-yard gain, much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
Allen looks to throw on 3rd and 1. Left side here, caught by Clay. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Ravens will take over at their own 20-yard line. The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
And we'll see if it's that easy here. Jackson now off the bootleg. Sliding out of the pocket. He's got the hook up to John Brown to the right side. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down. Here's a first down run with Collins. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, here's Jackson. Going to throw right side here. Complete. Room to run past midfield. The Raven passing game getting in sync. Another first down. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 48-yard line. Jackson from the shotgun. Forced out to his left. Fights loose. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir, able to turn that into a positive gain. The first update now from a game going on in Cleveland, and it's the Browns out to the early advantage. And we'll try and keep you updated on those events and others around the league as we continue through this one. They'll run it now out of the gun. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Jerry Hughes able to drop him for a loss of a couple. They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. Jackson from the gun, he'll throw. And it's knocked away and incomplete. That one was intended for John Brown. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Now with the play clock down to 2, we're going to get a timeout here. That's their second, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this 2nd quarter. We'll be right back. Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. From the gun, Jackson. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he gets it down to the 32. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And that is not going to get there. Oh, he missed it short. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
After the missed kick, they're in really good position. They'll begin this drive at the 39 now. Throwing on 1st down is Allen. He's going to look deep for Perriman. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. The Bills on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 11. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. He's got his running back, LaShawn McCoy. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. That one goes for 24 yards. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On 1st down, Allen escaping the pressure right. So 1:56 to play in this 1st half. We're back to Baltimore after this. On 2nd down, it's McCoy. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 6 yards on the pickup, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
And there's a run to be happy with. good, solid yardage, you'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
The Bills on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Operating from the gun, Allen. Some strong running at the 20. Gets it to Benjamin. It's caught. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. This quarterback now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. Now the first carry for the former Jaguar. This is Chris Ivory. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
They'll keep it on the ground with McCoy this time. And McCoy loses the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
After the fumble recovery, it's Jackson. Allen here on the screen. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. A nice little screen. They get 6 on first down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now Jackson operating from the gun. Buying time to his left. Oh, and now he bowls him over. Fighting through, and he's got space. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. This quarterback now nearly perfect. 9 of 10 in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Here's Jackson. From the gun, he'll throw. Flushed out right. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll check in for the first time with the newest member of our Madden family, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. That's fielded in the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Second quarter in Cleveland, and it's a big-time advantage for the Browns. They just scored again, pouring it on. That'll be a game to monitor as we go along.
Allen
now on first down. Completes it to Benjamin. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40. Yard line.
Gain of 12 on the play.
Here's Allen on 1st and 10. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, And that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. And here's Allen. Going to throw again. And this will be incomplete. He was trying to get it to LaShawn McCoy. And it's 3rd down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
The Bills on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Now Allen again. And he's got his man. It's the tight end Clay. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 11 yards and a Buffalo 1st down. This quarterback now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far. 1st and 10. And again, it's Allen. This complete to the tight end Clay. And he's brought down. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half. 1st and 10. Again, they'll throw with Allen. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Terrell Suggs in there for sack number 127 in his great career. Moving in past Kansas City Hall of Famer Derek Thomas on the all-time list. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. From the gun, it's Allen. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14. From the gun, Allen. He's got a man complete. It's Clay. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
Field goal forthcoming for Stephen Hauschka. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. And Hauschka's kick is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Now after the made field goal, Hauschka back out onto the field to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. They had that first half lead, but they have been shut down here in this third quarter, so time to retool a bit.
And probably need to tap into that emotional vein that gets them back to really playing hard and effectively. Because a lot of times we think it's just play calls and this isn't working and it's shutting them down. Sometimes when you get a lead, you lose your edge. You don't play quite as hard. That's what they're looking for here.
Trying to get that edge back as they've watched this lead shrink a little.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
On second down, Collins. And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3. On 3rd and short, they'll try option left. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. 3 yards on the keeper, and it's 4th down.
From this vantage point, they've got the lead here. So for me, that'd be enough to go ahead and punt the football and let my defense defend the long field.
If you go for it, you don't get it, then you really put your defense in a tight spot.
Yeah, but we never know what people ultimately will decide to do here on 4th and inches.
Oh, boy, he fielded it right on the goal line. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the Bills will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. The Bills offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit. A really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. They'll try and get the running game going with McCoy. And he's got some space here. LaShawn McCoy off to the races. He's at the 40, 20, 10, and all the way home for a Bills touchdown. LaShawn McCoy, 92 yards. And the Bills have cut it to within a score. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
And before they can get the play off, here's a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball. That's their first of this second half. The offense going to stay on the field as they will line up and go for 2. Allen into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Here's Hauschka now to kick it away. fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
The drive starts with a run by Collins. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
First, they go right back to Collins. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
Now Jackson on second down. And they take him down. The Bills get to him.
Like how they've started the third quarter here. They force a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their second win coming out of the locker room. The Ravens on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 16. From the gun, Jackson. Being chased out left. A bullet throw, but incomplete. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
And we'll see what he can do on the return. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And here come the Bills. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in, because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. 12 yards that time, and a Bills first down. This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. They'll run it with McCoy. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo first down.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
They go play action here on first down. Steps away to his left. And some room to work. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Play action. Now it's Allen. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Jackson. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. Jerry Hughes in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Back now in Baltimore. It's the Ravens in control of the football. They've also got the lead as we get set for the 4th. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. From the gun, it's Jackson. To the right side and complete to Hurst. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Trent Murphy in there to drop him for a loss of 10, and it'll be 4th and long. Here's Sam Cook now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Pulled in at the 24. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And the Bills getting set to go. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he'll check this one down to McCoy. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and it'll be a 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. To the shotgun snap to Allen. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Give him 7 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. Operating from the gun, Allen. Benjamin's got it. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
10 yards, good enough for a Buffalo first down.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
Just week 1, but already plenty of intrigue with the games going on, and this one no different as we come up on a 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go.
Now Allen to throw, operating from the gun. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Terrell Suggs in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Allen now from the gun, he'll throw. Dancing to his left. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has, but in his defense, he hadn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense, I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. First and 2nd down were a disaster. Both went backwards. Now it's 3rd and 18. They need something big. From the gun, Allen. He's going to look deep for Perriman. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the 4th quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to, you and your brothers, just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. And the Ravens taking the field. Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
They'll begin the drive with Collins. And he's able to get this across the 10 before being taken down. They needed some breathing room. He gave it to him. 11 yards and a first down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Goes down, it's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Star Latulippe with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. It'll be a gain of 15 on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game. They keep it on the ground. Allen again. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He'll buy some time right. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. To throw again. Jackson. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Allen hit. He lost the football.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 7. Jackson from the shotgun. He's going to fire one deep. He's got him in. Complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
They'll run it now out of the gun. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Now the Bills will take another timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They stay on the ground with Allen. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, They're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
The Ravens taking a knee with victory seemingly in hand here. They go down to a knee, and the new campaign off to a good start. It's a win here in Week 1. And just how they envision the start of the season, kneeling it down, defense can't stop the clock. This one's a winner.
You know what's really strange? I think a lot of people think that the kneel-down practice stuff really only happens like one time a week. The best teams I know, they practice it starting back in OTAs. They want them to visualize winning a game and how great that feels, and they got it done in this one.
Yep, a knee gets them to 1-0. And, partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, Week 1. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season. We get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So for Baltimore, that'll be a happy locker room as they start this season 1-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for the Bills, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they will get a home date next week against the Los Angeles Chargers. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.